far?
All right. As far as the injuries go, Travis Ward had a bit of a stomach illness. Willie Gay likewise had a little bit of illness before the game. And really everybody else finished, they played. Hats off to the fans. What a great job they did. I'm saying the Chief fans, and they were hearing numbers, a lot of red. We felt that and appreciated it. Listen, defensively, I thought we really came out with a great game plan, and the guys executed very well. Legarius, his tackling was all part of that. John Reed was around the quarterback all night. Everybody had a piece of this. So I thought the defense really played well. Offensively, we likewise were able to do some good things, and a lot of numbers for Pat, a lot of numbers for Tyreek and Kels and then Darrell Williams. Had over 100 yards receiving, which I thought was great. Third downs were great, both sides of the ball. The third downs on the offensive side were good too. And then special teams. Special teams I thought did a solid job the whole night, and then you add in the fake punt, which was great. That helps keep people off balance just a bit. Dave had a nice plan for him. EB had a nice plan offensively, and then Spags defensively. It was a solid performance all the way around. So that time's yours.
You elaborate on the fake punt. That's a pretty risky call at that point in the game that you're able to work.
Yeah, we saw that it was available, and so they were cheating back a bit, and you got a punter that can throw the ball, and he does it every day in practice, and you've got Kemp out there who's a good receiver. So, there's a risk involved, but then we thought the benefit was even greater.
Andy, you thought you were pretty close to some breakthroughs, but how different and reassuring does it feel to see it all kind of come together in a game like this?
There's such a rivalry between the Raiders and the Chiefs, so it's obviously a good one to get for the guys. Rich on the other side of it is battling his tail off, and so are his players. So working through all of this, and listen, it's a good one to get against a talented football team, and we've got so much room to improve still, and but we have a little bit of season left to do that. So we're going to keep chopping away at this thing and making ourselves the best we can be as it goes on.
What do you have to say about your team? Obviously, you had a slow and a rough start over the last couple of months to now be in first place in the AFC West.
Yeah, so that's good for today, and then you got to get back on it and get going. I appreciate you saying it, but you're just as good in this league. You're just as good as your next game, and we're seeing this every Sunday and Thursdays and Monday nights. The parity in this league is ridiculous, and so you have to stay on your game, and you have to continue to work to get better and eliminate some of the mistakes that we had tonight. You got to keep that going and enjoy it because they're hard to get, but just know where you're at and what this league's all about right now.
Yeah, what about Patrick tonight and the rhythm that he was in, especially considering the pass?
Well, Gus Bradley does a heck of a job defensively, and they've got talent on that side of the ball. And they've gotten Pat a couple different times. And so I thought he just was so disciplined and how he handled everything with the football and then in the run game, making that work too. And the offensive line, that's a good defensive front. They did a nice job of protecting them.
Yeah, speaking of the offensive line, Andrew Wally is third right tackle. Obviously, he knows Max from where they played together in college, but what did he do well, and how much was he part of how you guys are functioning?
Yeah. They got after each other. That was kind of fun to watch that. So, and the effort was intense there on both guys. Crosby, he's a good football player. But yeah, it was good to see. I mean, to have that, to have him here means a lot, especially when you've been a starter, to stay strong mentally, to be able to step in and do that. My hat's off to him on that.
Two questions. One real quick. Tyron didn't finish the game either. Was that not an injury?
I took all the way out. Tyron, I don't know, he might have an ankle or a little something, but I took them all out at that time, so I don't think it's anything serious.
And the second thing is, it seemed like the Raiders played a lot more single safety stuff, maybe some cover three than what you see from other teams playing those deep shells. I assume you guys still work on that, even though you really haven't seen much of it for the
Yeah, he blended it a little bit, so between cover four and single safety middle zone. And listen, that's kind of where the whole thing started. So they've done a good job against us the last few years. And so just playing zone. But he mixed it in. He mixed a little bit of quarters. He mixed some heavy three, and then man to man with different doubles taking place. So he had a nice game plan on that.
Andy, I hope I asked this in a way that makes sense, but people are talking like the Chiefs back, that kind of thing. I'm just wondering from your point of view, is it more about sort of not 19, not 20, but sort of chasing the identity of this particular?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. That you have to develop your own personality. Every team's different every year. And so, yeah, you can't worry about the expectations and all that stuff. You got to get down to the nitty gritty and build it. And so our guys have kind of done that, and they're getting to know each other better. And we've got to keep plugging away. So it's a good one to get, though. But I think you're probably spot on that. Yeah.
Adam.
Andy, Pat was in the first sort of prolonged slump or whatever you want to call his career. What did you see from him that told you he was going to sooner or later come out on the other side?
Yeah, so listen, Adam, I mean, Frazier does a million different studies for us, right? And Pat's lasted longer than any quarterback in the history of the game without a slump, right? And so it's going to happen. There's going to be a little something that it doesn't go your way. And it's important that you power through it, stay confident, and, keep firing. And so that's how he's wired. And you knew he was going to get through the ups and downs just by the way he handles himself. And that's what we're all watching it, right? So.
You said early on this season that you'd be happy when all three phases are playing, together on one court. How important is that as you guys move forward?
Yeah, listen, this probably goes for any team in this league, but if all three phases are clicking, then you're going to be tough to stop. So, but we're coming out of this, and we've got room to improve. And these guys they believe in that. They think that's how they come out to practice. They've got a confidence about them, but they understand that if we put it all together, then good things can happen. So.
Last three.
Coach, I'd love to talk a little bit more about the offensive line, especially when Orlando Brown. 2 weeks ago against, I believe, the Titans, a couple weeks ago, they gave up 4 sacks. The last couple of weeks, they've only given up, 1 sack and kept Patrick clean. How comfortable are you seeing Patrick behind this offensive line?
Yeah, you guys asked us during training camp. It takes a little bit of time for those guys to gel. It's 5 guys all kind of dancing the same dance, and they've got it takes time. It takes snaps. And so, they're working through everything that they need to. They've got a great attitude about them. Heck is a heck of a football coach, no pun intended. So we just keep pounding through this.
Last two, Jarrett and Nate.
Just backtrack for a second. When you think about kind of how the game flowed, the ebb and flow, the rhythm, how important was it for him, even from a confidence standpoint, for all that he's accomplished, to get out to a quick start?
Yeah, no, that helps. I mean, he did last week too. So Jared, he came out and we moved it right along, and then he had another one of those series just before half, and then he had it at the end of the game, where he made a couple of nice plays. So, but I think for any quarterback, I think it's important you can kind of start and develop some rhythm in the game, and I think he did that today. It's important, yes.
Last one, Nate.
And you praised the defense earlier, but in this 3-game winning streak, is there something that you can point to that tells you that this defense is trending in the right direction? That I guess most impresses you?
Yeah, I think they're playing well together, communicating well, which is so important on defense. There's always adjustments taking place. I mean, these offensive guys in this league are they're smart guys, and they try to get you out of position with their calls, motion shifts, and so to make those adjustments, the back end and front end, to make everything happen the right way, to still cover all the gaps and all the zones in the back end. You got to be sharp. It's endless hours with that. They do a million walkthroughs going through this, and you got to do it like that. So, and they're getting better at that.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Okay, thanks.
All right, guys.
I don't know if you just heard that answer from me, but just.
I wasn't listening.
Okay. Can you sort of explain that you guys have gotten a lot better at pre-snap communication and understanding what an offense is trying to do on motion, obviously formation shifts. Just how much do you see that coming quicker now maybe versus earlier?
Yeah, I mean, it's coming, excuse my voice. I feel like it's coming along. I think every year, defensively, you deal with what teams are going to present to you next. You know what I mean? So it took us obviously more than a couple of weeks to kind of start to communicate and see what teams are really trying to do against us. But we got some good coaches, and then the guys we got on our team, they're all in. So we knew we was going to get there, and we still feel like we could be much better.
Does that speak to you guys sort of neutralizing Darren Waller so much of this game, that it wasn't just one particular guy in the secondary, that it was a collection of everybody?
Yeah, I think, obviously, I think during the course of the game, obviously, he wasn't necessarily featured as much as he's been featured in the past. I thought Spags had a couple, wrinkles for him. I think Melvin, bumping him sometimes at line of scrimmage, obviously me covering him. Sneed, certain situations, just trying to mix up the looks that he see, and I think it's going to pay a lot for us, going forward.
It seemed like you were on Darren Waller quite a bit. How did that challenge come about, and what did you see from just yourself personally taking that down?
I mean, every game from here on out is a must-win game for us. That's really how we're looking at it. Every game is important. Every series is important, and it's critical down to businesses. You want good and good. You want whoever you think your guy is, and whoever you think their guy is. Let's play. So I thought Spags had a great game plan, and for me, I just try to flow with it.
Are you seeing similarities between what's going on recently on defense and where you guys turned it around in 2019?
I mean, I'm not necessarily looking back. And going to the last two Super Bowls, they don't crown champions in October, November. So, like I mentioned, we know it's going to take some time. In the last couple of years, it's taken us, quite some time to kind of start clicking, but we believe in it. And I think at the end of the day, that's all that really matters.
Yeah. Talk about the resilience of the team. Of course, when you mentioned 2019, you all had that loss to the Titans, and you kind of turned things around. You had the big loss this year in Nashville. Now you've all been on a 3-game winning streak, and now you all are now back in first place in the division. What type of resilience are you all seeing right now within the locker room?
Yeah, man, we got a strong team. We got a strong character. I think our coaches are, well seasoned, and experienced, and so. We know that we have a chance and we have a shot. Every time we prepare, each and every week, and at the end of the day, it comes down to execution. And that falls on the players. And I thought tonight we executed the right way, and I thought our coaches did what they needed to do as well.
With the help of the defense, now that you're seeing all the players, including with the inclusion of Milton Ingram, is this what you thought that this defense would be at the beginning of the season?
Most definitely. I think we're going to continue to get better. Just like the last couple of seasons, I see us being one of the better defenses, when it matters the most late in the season.
Along those same lines, what kind of a message is a performance like tonight 17, the rest of the league, and even some of the doubters that were out there coming into this weekend?
I mean, listen, man, I think it's always going to be people kind of nitpicking, and everybody has expectations for the Kansas City Chiefs. Being that we went to the last couple Super Bowls, but I mean, this game is hard. It's ebbs and flows, it's ups and downs, and but I wouldn't want to be in this with nobody else. I think Spags is one of those guys I would want in my foxhole, and I could go on and on. So those are the things that we believe in, and so that's what we're going to continue to believe in.
Last week we'll start. The Sean fumble was just kind of the Sean fumble was kind of a wild play from your vantage.
Yeah. I mean, I think the football guys was on my side. I think I was supposed to have that interception. So I think he was just looking out for me, man. But that's another thing, man. When you got guys playing fast, you can make up for others' mistakes. And I think we're trending towards that. Even when we do mess up, it's somebody back there that can kind of make it right, or somebody up front that could disrupt it. So, but yeah, I football gods, man.
Okay.
Yeah, Andy Reid opened up saying hats off to the fans here. Fans we talked to called this Arrowhead West. What did it feel like down there on the field? Were there a lot of fans right here?
Oh no, it was real. I think obviously during the national anthem, and obviously I was expecting to hear home of the Raiders, but I think home of the Chiefs was kind of drowning them out. So we knew that we knew we had a lot of support in the building, and our fans tried to roll. And I think anytime they really support us, that gives us that extra confidence as well.
Last two, Sam, and then you mentioned Jarius earlier. What have you seen from him, especially recently, these last couple of weeks?
I mean, he's coming into his own. I know he probably, weren't making the plays early in the season that I thought he would make, and he thought. But he's coming along, man. I think the whole world will know his name by the end of the season.
Last one, JB.
Tyreek, it's been a long time since we said the Chiefs in first place. How does that feel?
I mean, it feels good. Like I said, man, we're not crowning anybody in November. So we got a lot more games left. And so we got the Chargers coming up, the Cowboys. We got some big games coming up. And, that's really where our focus should be at. But obviously, with the way we started the season, to be in this position is very humbling. And so we just got to keep it going.
All right, thanks, Tom. Appreciate it. Go ahead, sir. Thank you. All right, everybody.
Ricky had a big game. Talk about the touchdown pass that you Mahomes tonight.
Yeah. I mean, Pat does a tremendous job, putting a lot of trust in me, down the field. The second touchdown, he actually called that from the sideline. He was actually telling Coach that, Coach, it's there. And Coach called it, and it was wide open. So, I mean, the guy's great. He's unbelievable. Shout out to the guys up front too. Protecting him all night. So I was able to do my thing down the field.
What are you seeing from Patrick, or have you seen in these recent weeks as the production and the numbers haven't been what we've been accustomed to, as far as his psyche and keeping,
Oh, okay. Pat, I mean, as great as he is, I feel like he has learned, how to, take what's given to him, whether it's check downs, because teams are beginning to take the deep shots away from us, so he's been doing a great job, studying film, spending time with Eric, Coach EB, Andy Reid, and his quarterback coach, and just, learning how to, improve his game even more. So, like I said, man, I can't ask to be in a better position, with a better quarterback. So we're all very fortunate.
You weren't worried about him, were you?
No, never, because he's a guy that never gets comfortable. He's always trying to get better. He's always trying to find ways to improve, himself, the team, because believe this or not, without him, we don't go nowhere, so he knows that.
Did you see a difference in his demeanor at all this past month, though?
No. The guy's still the same guy, cocky, which is good, just still blooming in himself. So still the same guy.
And also, you mentioned just taking what's there. How much easier is that said than done? I mean, you're a guy that obviously came into this league knowing as a guy that could take that.
It's hard, man, especially for me, man, because I'm used to going 80 every play, you know. So, man, I just, you know, Coach Reid, he got to just keep me calm on the sideline, you know, because I'm a head case, man. I'm used to going, like I said, used to going down the field, and my guys got me running 12-yard ends, and that's not something I'm used to. So, we're all adjusting our games, you know. So that's why we in the NFL, you know.
Kind of along those lines, what I assume you think this is the best game you guys have played this season. As you guys chase, you know, sort of the best version of yourself.
Right.
How is that going to look different than the best version of yourself in the last couple of years? How's this team going to be different?
I mean, I feel like there's always ways to improve. You know, I can't speak for nobody else on this team, but I can speak for the, you know, receiver room because I'm the veteran of that group, you know. But I feel like as for us, as a wideout room, we can improve our blocking, we can improve our route depth, you know, and stuff like that, you know, just so we can be on time with Pat, you know, to give him a clear picture, you know, instead of just, you know, if we got a 12-yard route being at 7, you know, and stuff like that. So, I mean, there's always ways to improve, even though we put up 41. You know, we probably could have put up 60, so who knows?
Tyreek, it's been a few weeks where Travis has kind of dipped in production. Obviously, it looks like he's kind of playing through some injuries. Just how nice was it to see him sort of get back on track? And what has he sort of shown you at this stage of his career to still be able to be a reliable source for Patrick?
And he's still, I mean, he's like arguably probably like one of the best tight ends of all time, you know, so. I mean, his mindset is always, you know, trying to keep his swagger. You know, like he kept saying that on the sideline, you know. So for him, man, it's tough, you know, because guys are, you know, banging him around, like doubling him, like each and every play, you know. So, I mean, like I said, as great as he is, like his mindset is to always dominate and be the aggressor, you know. And tonight you saw that, you know, guys were trying to double him and do his thing. Like he was still able to break free, you know, and get open for Pat.
For you, how much do you need Travis's voice at this point? Like you said, if he's the one talking about swagger on the sideline, how much of that is needed for this particular group?
It means a lot, man, especially like coming from a guy like him, you know, because like he easily can say, you know what, I'm just gonna show up and just play, you know, but instead like he's that vocal leader that you need, you know, just to hear, like even for me, like I'm 6 years in, and like and it feels good for me, you know, just to hear that confidence booster from Trav, you know. So I mean, he's definitely a guy, you know, that we need, you know, to bring that energy.
Last one, with the impact that he had in the passing game tonight, does Daryl Williams get a key to the receiver room now?
Excuse me?
How impressed were you with what he did in the passing game, and especially that big long touchdown?
Who's this?
Daryl Williams.
Oh, Daryl?
Yeah.
That was crazy, man. Like, hey, to be honest, like I did not see Daryl down the field at all, you know, so I was kind of, so like when Pat was scrambling doing his thing, I'm like, dang, is he past the line? Then I seen him throwing it. I turned around and I seen Daryl, and I'm like, I know he is not going to just throw this to Daryl. And this big booty tail jumped up there and caught it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's wild, you know, so they know the play, man. You know, like Greg Lewis, ex-receiver coach, he got them boys going up top, you know, so a little fun fact for y'all.
No doubt. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it.
All right. You talked about several plays, but one you had a lot of emotion on was that fourth down touchdown. I understand it's a big moment in the game, but what sort of prompted such a
Yeah, I think obviously a huge moment in the game, and then that guy stepping up and making a big play. I mean, Noah, he's battled every single week to continue to get better and better, and for him to make a big catch like that, because that was a tough catch in traffic with the ball kind of shooting right through the line of scrimmage. It was kind of just letting out to know that, I mean, that was a big touchdown and got the momentum back in our favor.
This is probably the best offensive game since the Philadelphia game. How comfortable did you feel tonight with that offensive line? You had 5 touchdowns. You weren't sacked at all. And then on top of that, well, I'll let you say it.
Yeah, no, it was, I mean, they've been doing a good job these last few weeks. They've been doing a great job. This is a great defensive line with the great pass rushers. They've had a great season, and they stepped up to the challenge. I mean, Wiley came in and battled the entire game against Crosby. I thought Atlanta did a great job against Yannick. I mean, they're 2 great players. And then the interior guys just did a great job in the run game, screen game, everything.
And so I think as the season's gone on, you've seen how you kind of come together as a unit offensively, and then they get an understanding of how I do my drops because I'm obviously different than a lot of guys in this league.
And then also when you look at it, you were trying to take what the defense gave you. You didn't have any rush attempts at all. I mean, was that something conscious being said that you decided not to run tonight because there were some lanes open for you?
Yeah, I think there was nothing, I didn't know that. So I wasn't necessarily trying to not run or anything like that. I was going to run the one through the Darrow. But I think it was just guys were getting open. I mean, guys were beating double teams. Guys were getting open in their zone coverages. And I was getting the ball to them. And then you saw Darryl and these backs were making plays happen out in space. And so whenever they're catching the ball like that out of the backfield and adding another option, it's definitely another kind of utility thing that I can use in this offense.
Go ahead. Patrick, on the play you were just talking about, how close did you feel like you were to the line of scrimmage? It looked pretty close.
Oh, I knew I was close. That's the first thing I said when I got to the sideline. I was up behind the line of scrimmage because I hit through the middle and like I was pretty committed on it. I was about to try to run, and then I took my eyes there. I think I can't remember if it was Trav or one of the receivers, Pringle maybe. I think it was Trav. I was running across the field, and I was going to shoot it to him. And then out of my peripheral, I saw Darryl, and I actually underthrew it a little bit. I mean, he tells me he can catch. Darryl does, but I guess I see that he can. So he made a big time play over a good player.
Take that too. Was there a moment tonight? I mean, it's been not coming easy the last few weeks. Was there a moment tonight where you just felt like, I know we've got the rhythm that we were looking for? Was there a single moment that made you feel like that, or you just felt like? I think it was
in pregame. I mean, you could just feel the energy from the guys. I mean, everybody was ready to go this game. We obviously haven't offensively played the way we wanted to, but we've been finding ways to get wins. And so I think guys have been just steady with the process of getting better and better. I thought pregame you could feel that energy, and I think guys wanted to be on Sunday Night Football playing in a stadium like this against a team like that.
Hey, Patrick, would it be safe to say that you've got your groove back? I mean, do you feel like a relief after the past few weeks?
Yeah, for sure. Shane Duchel came up to me and showed me this video with this kid, and he was saying, I got my swagger back. And so that was something that was kind of my motto this week. And I think the whole team kind of got that swag back, and we're going to try to keep that thing rolling.
Patrick, had 3 tough weeks for you in the offense. What told you that that's not really who you were? That you guys were going to come out on the other side of this sooner or later?
Yeah, I mean, I think it just comes with we've done it before. I mean, we've done it these last few seasons. We were doing it at the beginning of this season. We were moving the ball and making a lot of stuff happen. We were just turning the ball over. And then we kind of went through a little spell where we weren't making these drives and continuing these drives. We were still finding ways to win. And so I knew we were going to click back into it. I've been saying it for weeks. I was like, we're going to find it. I mean, we have the guys. We have too many guys that work hard. We have too many great coaches that put in the time. That we're gonna find a way to get stuff going. And if the defense is playing like that, I mean, don't let that get overlooked at how they're playing. I mean, that's going to make us a great football team.
Sam, a couple ones, but one real quick. When did Shane show you that video, and where did he show it?
He showed it to me like in the QB when we were watching film like Monday or Tuesday. So he was saying, because I was saying I need to get my swag back, and he showed me that video, and that was like the mojo, the video of the week.
Okay. What do you think that got you going?
Because it was kind of the thing where I think the question was they were trying to say what was wrong with the team, and they had a big win, and he said that I think I got my swagger back, and I was like, man, that's what we're going to do on Sunday. So we got the win now. How can we keep that swag going?
Nate, there's always this question about who's calling the plays. Is it Andy? Is it EB? But for you, how much did the play calling help you get into a rhythm to where guys could, get open more than in the past few games?
Yeah, they were dialing it up. I mean, I thought they did a great job of marrying the run in the pass game. We had plays that we ran early in the game, kind of like the touchdown to Pringle that set up plays later. So I mean, it was. I think that they were marrying up the run in the pass game really well. They were calling plays to get guys open versus both coverages, really the 2-3 coverages that the team with the almost said Chargers, the Oakland was doing. And so whenever they're calling plays like that, it makes my job a lot easier.
Sam, Patrick, you guys have been pretty open about when you've been struggling and all that and trying to get back right. I'm just wondering, like, in your mind, are you trying to get back to what you were the last 3 years, or is it chasing something new and different and specific?
No, it's always something new. I mean, obviously, we're a different football team. I mean, we have a lot of the same pieces, but we have new guys. And I think with the offensive line, how they're playing right now, and to add on with the guys that are stepping up and making plays week in and week out, we're trying to be our own version of the Kansas City Chiefs. obviously we know that it's what it takes because we've been in the Super Bowl games and stuff like that. But I think we kind of went back these last few weeks and kind of went back to let's just take it day by day. Let's not worry about the Super Bowl right now. Let's figure out how we can make ourselves better as a team each and every day. And I think that's what you've seen these last 3 weeks of finding ways to get wins.
Last one, Sam. Tyreek said that you actually called the play that led to his second touchdown. Can you take us through that conversation and then can you potentially tell us what you saw without giving anything away?
Yeah, we called a play. I think it was 2 or 3 plays before that where we had a run play called, and it was the same thing. Marrying the plays, it was saying we had that action. And I kind of carried out that fake, and I saw the corner and the safety kind of bite down on me, trying to stop the run, obviously. And so when I went back to the sideline, I told Coach Reid, like, hey, he already had a play call. I was like, the next one, let's call this play again. If they're going to bite on it. And so I kind of wrote it, and I acted like I was read optioning it, and kind of went to the right. And the corner just kind of bit down enough, and the linebacker bit, so I knew I just got to get it over the top of Tyreek.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys, fire away.
Can you take us through that touchdown?
First, I had a flat route, chipped the end, got on a flat route. I saw Pat scrambling, and I saw Abram just flat-footed, so I went upfield. And I continued to run. I saw Pat look at me. He turned his eyes, and then he came back to me. He threw the ball. He threw it up. I knew I had to go make a play. It was like backyard football. Just go out there and make a play.
Can you explain what that feeling is like when you actually know you secured the catch, and it's a play that not many running backs will make this season?
Mm-hmm. That's big for me, big for my team, because it was a critical moment. With that catch, that really helped us out. It really set the tone, brought us more energy, and I'm just grateful for the opportunity.
Daryl, can you also explain what you were just saying about the eye contact? Like, how it was actually directing you?
No, it just looked like he looked at me, and took his eyes off me, and then just came back to me, and he threw it. And I just had to make it.
Understood that to be saying something to you?
I'm not saying he was saying something to me, but as long as he threw it to me, and I would have been able to play.
You said you didn't tell him that you could catch.
Oh, yeah, of course. Like I've been telling everybody for longest, I could do everything you need me to do as a running back, whether that's catching, whether it's blocking, whether it's running. I could do every single thing.
So you had 9 targets and you made 9 catches. So no squandered opportunities in the passing game. But for a running back to get a 100-yard receiving game, which you've never done before in your career, can you just tell us what that's like? How satisfied are you with that?
I'm very satisfied. I think the biggest thing is we got the win. But with those 9 catches, just Pat trusting me, throwing me the ball. And, I just had to go in there and make a play. These hands, they work.
You ever think you'd have a game with more receiving yards than Tyreek?
No, I never thought about that, for real. Never thought about it.
It's all about opportunities, though, and you made the best of it. What advice would you give others who are, maybe in your position of backing up and get an opportunity to make the most out of it?
People gonna always doubt you. People gonna always have their opinion. As long as you have that right mindset and have the right people in your corner, and just put your head down and get to work, and don't never stop grinding, because you never know. Just like me, opportunities may come. You never know when it might come, and you just got to make the most of it.
Daryl, when you know your quarterback is going to the best of his ability, what's that feeling like in the huddle before you guys go out to the next play?
I think that just, as a player, that just make you want to play harder. Just seeing him out there just making plays, making D-line miss, scrambling, and just doing those type of things. It just brings energy and make you want to play even harder.
Okay, thanks, Daryl.
Thank you. Appreciate it.